Hey, John. Well, the first one to draw your attention to is Novavax. That stock is plunging in the after hours, now down 25%, as this company is now warning about its potential ability to continue functioning. It says while its current cash flow forecast for the one-year going concern look-forward period estimates it has sufficient capital available to fund operations, it says this forecast is subject to significant uncertainty, including as it relates to 2023 revenue, funding from the U.S. government, and pending arbitration. It says, quote, given these uncertainties, substantial doubt exists regarding our ability to continue as a going concern through 1 year from the date that these financial statements are issued. Guys, this is just remarkable to see because Novavax, of course, was one of the companies in Operation Warp Speed. They did ultimately get a COVID vaccine across the finish line, but not soon enough to really participate in the major use of these vaccines that we saw from Pfizer and Moderna and the billions of dollars that flowed to them. This stock at one point was above $200 in the midst of the acute stage of the pandemic, now down there to $7 per share based on this warning happening right now. On the flip side, there is positive news for another biotech company out there, Sarepta. This company, of course, making drugs for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. That's a horrible, rare disease, saying in their report this afternoon that they are working with the FDA and are not expecting an advisory committee meeting for their gene therapy for Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which investors are taking as a potential positive signal for approval there. So you're seeing that stock up there almost 14%. Guys, back to you.
Meg, give me the big picture perspective on what COVID did to these biotech companies that seemed poised to benefit from it, but find themselves now without the revenue from these vaccines that they seem to have relied upon. Is it similar to what we've seen happen in e-commerce, or is it even more dramatic than that? We're not seeing names that people know at home threaten to go out of business in e-commerce.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of amazing. Novavax is sort of a unique story because it was in this bucket of companies that perhaps looked like they were sort of bubbly, right? Like, could they really do it? They had never done it before. There were a number of other biotech companies at the beginning that we didn't know whether or not to take seriously, and it turned out none of the other companies made it across the finish line. Novavax did. They got a vaccine, cleared and on the market for COVID, something that major vaccine makers like GlaxoSmithKline and Sanofi didn't manage to do. But they weren't in that initial crop of companies, and there were missteps along the way. And so you're still seeing, even though they were technically successful, they weren't fast enough, even though this went so incredibly quickly. And so now they are in this just crazy position to see a successful vaccine and even more in the pipeline, but still warning about their ability to continue functioning as a company. So it's just a sad and crazy story to watch.
It is. It's definitely staggering. And it should be noted, this was not an mRNA vaccine either, and it came out a little bit later than everything else, but it had been sort of seen as a possible alternative for folks that maybe are a little more hesitant about that other type of vaccine technology. Meg Terrell, thank you.